Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Lands of Alaire. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Ian, the Dungeon Master, and I'm joined here today by my two good friends, Tori and Aaron of Joined by Gaming, my younger brother Tyler, our good friend Scott, and my older brother TJ. If there's anything you guys want to go over before we jump into the recap.
No, we've got some cool stuff for the break, for sure. Yeah. We've got some results on the polls, which should be really fun to talk about. There's still time to vote now on Twitch. And then we did our t-shirt giveaway, which we will reveal at the break.
Awesome!
Previous to that, no.
Cool. Then let's jump on into the adventure. Here is the recap for our last session. Last we left off, our heroes, Erlon, Melee, Leander, Jar, and Gilroy, had embarked from the settlement of Waterwheel, accompanying the mayor and her entourage toward the home of Clan Milnar, Steelhammer Stronghold. Travel went well, and for the first few days on the road were swift and quiet. A dwarf, Hurston, swore fealty to the group as so long as he could drive and maintain the party's new wagon, as he always wanted to journey the lands. You followed along the northern coasts of the Great Lake Serenalter. The caravan happened across a sprawling set of ruins in which they rested for the night. That evening they were ambushed by hobgoblins and warg riders. And though the party easily defended the caravan, the noise of battle attracted none other than the Everlasting Father, a legendary mutated frost giant. The onslaughts of the giants was vicious, but our heroes ultimately overwhelmed their monstrous foes. With another few days' travel, the caravan arrived at the Strait, where the Great Lake empties into the ice seas of the north. Over this wide river extends a huge, ancient stone bridge of dwarvish design, raised to the point of being impassable by massive machinery. Atop this bridge resides a group of lizard men, who have lived in isolation for many centuries and refuse to grant access to the machinery that would lower the bridge unless the party can prove their Mako, a system of honor unique to these peoples. By journeying north and meeting with their exalted Elder of the Saltwaters, and that is where we left off. You guys had chosen to embark on your own, not taking any of your fellow companions north along the strait. And it's a few hours walking along this wide river until you can see the coast before you. Any preparations or anything you guys would like to do?
So this is like the ocean?
Yeah, you're gonna meet the very North Seas.
Nice. Cool.
And you can see in the distance, though it's pretty far out, the silhouettes of large icebergs that seem to drift aimlessly in that direction.
And what's the climate like here?
It's colder. There's a bit of a chill to the air as compared to around Waterwheel in the early summer. There was a great many flowers blooming and whatnot, but it feels as though towards this area the permafrost is a bit more notable. The ground is still frozen, though it's not covered in snow or anything.
Right. No, I will draw my robe closer.
Absolutely.
I am curious though. What do you guys think that Lizard Man Elder meant when he said my Mako was fine? I tend to think I have pretty good Mako.
I think that's a tough subject, Gilroy. They're definitely a different people.
Yeah, that much is for sure. Not the best place to build your village.
And as you guys approach the coast, you see it's calm in this area. The water laps up the waves onto the coast, and it's a rocky beach, essentially, that you sit down upon. There doesn't seem to be anything notable to the west or east down the coast, however. A single iceberg is slowly bobbing its way towards you.
No sign of the
Elder of the Saltwaters? No, nothing that looks particularly Lizard Man construction-esque either.
It's like how far out is the
iceberg? It's about like 100 meters out and making its way towards you as you guys scout and take a seat.
Alright.
You can throw me a perception on it if you'd like.
Yeah. 13.
That is a big old iceberg. What's it come to?
13.
Wow, it sure is huge!
It's getting closer!
Yes, and it's getting closer. No worries, within a few minutes' time, it appears as though, and if those of you who are looking towards the iceberg, specifically Maylee and Leander, would note that it is being pushed along by a monstrous sea serpent. Occasionally its back arcs out of the waters and goes back underneath.
I guess this is the Ice Sea.
Good eyes, Leanne.
He lifts the cover on his helmet.
My goodness.
Can I do a nature check on that serpent?
Yeah, absolutely.
There we go.
6.
Oh, wow, what a huge water serpent!
I nudged Leander and say that.
Yeah. Well, as the iceberg approaches, eventually it slowly hits the coast, and you can hear it grind against the rocks. It is a thing of monstrous size, of course, and it kind of raises out of the water as it's pushed further and further up along the coast. And you can see that on this side it has kind of a hole bored into it by the sun. Looks very much so like a doorway, kind of. And the serpent comes around and half covered in water, allowing its snout and eyes to come up out of the water. It peers upon the group and looks you over, and you can see in its eyes, particularly you, Erlon, as you are looking out towards it, there is an aura of almost regal nobility to this thing as it gazes upon you, and also no sign of threat. It isn't rearing back in any way that suggests it's going to attack. It's just looking over you.
It's a good thing none of us saw it right away. We might have tried to attack.
I'm guessing this is the Elder's home?
Is this the elder?
Yes.
I
And it
need
gives
to
a
bow.
Okay. It gives a snort that causes water to spew from its snout like a geyser, and kind of writhes its back body a little bit, causing waves to ripple out away from it, and goes, I am the elder of the salt waters. You have come to prove your Mako. I will give you the mark. But you must go through my ritual. Follow me to my home. And with that, it takes its tail and slaps it upon the iceberg, causing it to rotate, and the circular hole becomes easily enough able to enter.
Oh, great. Ice caves.
Erlon very excitedly runs.
Embarks?
Yeah.
All right.
This is awesome.
And do the rest of you get on?
I suppose so.
Yeah, I think so. Gilroy remarks that, recognizing the elder must have been good for his Mako. Gotta get him some points.
You're really concerned with this now. So all of you load onto the iceberg, and the snake essentially puts its snout to where that circular opening is and begins to push it out to sea. And he goes, within moments, we will reach my cove. I will turn the iceberg. Hold on. And with that, he slaps it again, and the iceberg turns so that the hole is underneath the water, and it maintains the air within.
Mm-hmm.
And he obviously is moving you. You can see it's semi-transparent. You can see the blueness of the water around you as he's pushing you along. And you presume he may be able to hear you if you want to talk with him. It's about 5 minutes the way out.
Oh, this was a terrible idea.
This is certainly not what I was expecting.
And what were you expecting, little one?
Perhaps some... Well... Maybe it is what I was expecting. Just much... grander.
It doesn't seem to reply. You are, after a minute it goes, so small. It must have taken you some time to get here. I can appreciate that. It takes me some time to get from place to place. and for many centuries, the ice sea has been my home. And with that, you can feel it begin to slither above the iceberg and completely submerge it underneath the waters. You still have your air in here, though a little bit of it escapes and bubbles up curving alongside the outer edge of this iceberg, and you can feel indeed that you are heading downwards.
Don't mind being at the ground, but underwater is not good. Not good.
A hefty, low chuckle.
I'm just staring at the front entrance,
Yeah,
looking
absolutely.
around at what's there.
The ice
Deeper and
seas,
deeper.
yeah, it's vastly just the lighting and the water that you get to appreciate, and the speed and depth of your movement. But the water, as you look, if you were to peer down through the whole straight darkness, it's an abyss of blackness, and it's a bit disconcerting in that you don't want to be there, and it's also a bit calm and beautiful, and you get to appreciate that, Erlon. And the snake goes, "We're almost there. Hold on." And there's a great crash as the iceberg seems to hit something rather solid, and then tumble a little and make its way up using the air within as buoyancy. And it emerges with a huge splash in a dark, monstrous cave. The sea also goes up. The cave is mostly water on the bottom, however, has a large pocket of air in which the iceberg crashes into. Kind of floating there like an ice cube. And the snake comes up in this large bowl of water that essentially makes the bottom of the cave and peers upon you all and goes, "Are you ready for the ritual?"
So wait, this isn't part of the test?
This is where the test will take place.
No. I'm just being on my best behavior. Yes, yeah, I'm ready.
You will face your greatest adversary. Prove your valor. And with that he goes, "On my back now."
All right.
Erlon runs on over.
It's gonna be a great story.
Sure, right by the base of its head, essentially, you get to take the first position, and presumably everyone lines up. And what he does is brings you over to a large circular pad rock, essentially, that juts out of the water. And he says, "Sit in a circle now."
Alright.
Okay, yeah.
And you guys all sit in a circle, and he goes, "Close your eyes." And you can sense as it moves around. You don't actually have to close your eyes. You don't want.
I'm trying to figure out if Maylee actually closes her.
Fair enough. Okay. And you can sense just by the water's movement, this thing circling around, slowly becoming more and more of a spiral, essentially, with its head in the center. And then you can hear a great whoosh as its head goes under the water, and then bubbles begin to arise all around this circular pad, bubbles of air that the snake must be exhaling. And the bubbles smell kind of like roses, or mint, or kind of like moving through a garden. There's a strange pleasantness about it. And obviously, the snake's breath somehow has a magical effect. And it is in no time that your vision begins to waver. The dark silhouettes of your friends sitting around you begin to kind of vanish into grayness, and you find yourselves in quite the space.
Looks scary.
Yes, it's a land of jagged rocks and magma floating high above an endless misty swirl. And on the far end of this space, this jagged, rocky, mountainous-esque space, covered in ancient-looking pillars and construction, sits a man in glowing golden plate, a sword laying across his lap as he seems to be deep in contemplation. However, upon your arrival in this space, he stands up and goes, "Assassins, come to kill me in my dreams. You're not the first, you certainly won't be the last." And he takes a few steps forward.
So you should have left me home.
What does his nameplate say?
Lord Devarius Caldenon, the King of Kings. I know not your faces. Interesting.
You will.
What makes you think we're assassins?
Well, in this space I've fought many a foe. No friendly face shows itself here. And of course you're not of my own memories, because I don't remember your faces, so you must have been sent here. Assassins, some extra force attempting to get in my way. He takes another few steps forward.
Are you sure you haven't seen me before? I am a street performer.
Afraid not.
Erlon, Leander.
I'm assuming we have the weapons that we normally
Yes, you have all your gear.
Yeah.
However, let me note that if you do use some gear in this space, do not mark it off your character sheet. This is a dream realm, and therefore it's not actually your physical stuff.
Okay. Guess me and Erlon will step up.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least in front of the group.
Take your forward positions.
Yeah.
Erlon starts thumping his chest.
Why are we fighting him?
We're not necessarily.
Yeah.
Fuck this guy. He sucks.
Maybe that's why your knock was only fine.
You can see the mist in the background begins to swirl this area. This endless abyss beyond these floating jagged rocks begins to swirl and take shapes. And you can see the king, the same visage as this man standing before you. And he's sitting atop a very high hill, shimmering green grass blowing about in the wind, and he's overlooking a beautiful sunset, rays of light streaming down over the ruinous landscape around you, as if this very image could affect the land that you are standing upon. And he's sitting with a featureless woman. You can see no detail to her face, but she does glow rather slightly. And you hear a beautiful, clear voice ring out. Is something bothering you, darling? Don't mind what those fools in the council say. We'll find a way together. The king grits his teeth. So then, I suppose we are to fight. That's what you came here for, isn't it?
Came here to get across a bridge.
Oh, there's many bridges yet to cross. And he draws his sword. Who will be first? Throw initiative.
All of us?
Yeah.
16.
16 for Erlon? Melee?
13.
13. Leander?
3.
3. Jar?
7.
7. Gilroy?
6.
6.
Low initiative today.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
We don't want to be here.
Lord Devarius Calden draws his sword and awaits your first move, which brings us to Erlon.
Yeah, so I swing bloodletter around my head. Walter, let's show this man who really should be bending the knee.
Walter materializes beside you, however he is wordless at the moment.
Alright.
Charge on him.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, you got it.
I'm gonna just reckless attack, just bring it hard down on him. And that is 25.
That'll hit.
It'd be scary if you said it wouldn't.
Close.
10 damage.
10 damage. Okay.
Second attack. 17.
Will not hit.
Alright.
And then, yeah, I suppose he'll make his attacks against you as he was ready. And he'll make 2. A miss. A very low roll. And a hit. And he's going to be hitting for 23 damage, or 28 damage, 23 of it being slashing and 5 being radiant. So you would bring that down to, in rage, half of 23 a D is 12?
Yes.
And so 17 damage.
Are we counting ourselves back up to full health?
Yeah, you're,
Okay.
you're fully rested as far as this is concerned. Sorry, I didn't make that known before.
No, it's fine.
So he slashes out. Indeed, his greatsword a beautiful, magnificent weapon, obviously magical, obviously powerfully magical. It cuts deep, and with a radiant, burning energy, much like you've seen Leander use, and you feel not as though, it's not like the gods have forsaken you or anything, but he has strength that you wouldn't expect out of him. He has still a connection to the divine that you would think would be forsaken for a man such as his stature. And that will bring us to Melee.
How tall are the ruins that are...
Oh, those around you?
Yeah.
A lot of those pillars are fallen over. They're about 3 feet tall and whatnot.
Okay.
These stones in the back are about 10 feet tall or so.
Okay. If I want to move further, south, so I'm shooting, over that, whole...
Sure, yeah. You want to get on top of, this pillar base here or something?
Yes,
Sure, that
actually.
gives you a good vantage point.
Which sharpshooter? 16.
Nope.
Okay. Check. Same thing. No.
Yeah. 2 arrows go flying towards him. Well shot, however. Bounce right off of his armor. Which brings us to Jar.
Alright, can Jar possibly move far enough with a dash to flank?
20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55. You can perfectly do that, Jar.
Okay, so Jar will do that, and he will swing with a short sword.
Okay.
And he misses.
Okay. Which will bring us to Gilroy.
Yeah. I will take flight,
Okay.
shooting up into the dream realm, and that's my action for the turn.
Right.
I will gaze out as I'm lifting into the air at the, I don't know what you would call this, a sky, I guess?
Pretty much.
Yeah, skybox.
It's sky in every direction, though.
Yeah. And then turn my attention back to the various, readying for my next turn.
Leander.
I will move up as far as I can and cast Sacred Weapon.
Okay.
That is my turn.
So Gilroy, as you gaze out into this swirling, it's not an abyss because there's stuff to it, but you can see another vision appear, another depiction of the past, it seems, and a vision of a battlefield, and the king solemnly walking his way through a valley of broken bodies and discarded banners. He kneels down beside a body and removes its helmet, revealing the face of a lifeless young man, dried blood running down his forehead, and the woman's voice rings out again. We could have stopped this, you and I. And that will bring us to the king's turn. He looks towards you, Leander, and he goes, "Oh, what a waste. Divinely smites you." He's throwing a 28 to hit.
He has disadvantage.
Ooh. Does a 23 hit you?
Yes, it does.
So that is going to be
Some high bonuses.
68 damage.
Jesus.
-3.
23 slashing and 45 radiant.
He has 7.
So 50.
You're going to be taking 58.
58.
What's your hit point, Max?
80.
And then he'll turn towards Erlon and make a regular attack. Ooh, a real roll. That's going to be a 24.
Yep.
So 28 damage, which is actually for you 17 damage. As he slashes out at your companion surrounding him. And free roamer and a half-orc. Is this the greatest heroes they can muster these days? And that will bring us to Erlon.
Yeah, just wordless scream. Reckless attack. 25.
That'll hit. I'm impressed.
11 damage.
Okay.
And I will attack again. No. Base 3.
Yeah, Bloodletter, the first attack managing to sink deep into that plate, and indeed he grits his teeth as you do draw blood, and you see he is mortal. However, just nearly, it seems. And the second one, he manages to react very quickly to deflecting it with his greatsword as he dances about you, and that brings us to melee.
And you can do it normally
Okay.
this time?
Probably hits.
So what, 27?
Yes.
13.
13. Do you have another? That's gonna hit.
7.
Okay. Which will bring us, those two sink deep, to Jar.
Jar's going to just circle around a little bit to kind of be opposite of Leander and Erlon.
Sure.
And he's going to try to attack again with short sword. And that's 26.
That'll hit.
Alright, so that's 6, 10, 11, that's 16.
16?
16, and he'll try with his short sword, or the dagger.
Sure.
Not
It's a
20.
nat 20 on
Nice.
the dagger. I only get the die roll, so 2.
It's a hit!
Yeah.
Gilroy.
Alright. I'll move a little closer. I'm probably maybe 40 feet up right now. Yeah, I'll move sort of towards the middle of, between melee and those guys. Having a pretty steep angle on them now. I'll just sort of float there. My robes billow, and I will cast. Man, I have so many AoEs. I can't. I can't do any of those. So I guess I'll do Scorching Ray, I suppose.
Okay.
Not magic missile.
I mean, we'll see.
Give it your best.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll just sort of extend my staff as these laser beam-looking rays shoot down and try and strike true against the king. That's a 17.
No.
11.
No.
Such a waste. Yeah. And 14.
I can't cast AoE spells!
I'm not very good at single target.
Leander.
Leander's gonna cast Lay on Hands,
Okay.
so he'll heal back for 40. I think he'll say to Lord Devarius Caldenon, "Do not call me an assassin. Is that all you see me as? A half-orc?"
Yes. That's all I see anymore. The gods may favor you, but they know the true path forward. It is not in your hands.
You've lost your way. And I think he will go ahead and try and attack him.
Sure.
A 26.
Yes.
Make it a Divine Smite.
Of course.
Level 2. Plus 12. Yeah.
It's getting there.
3, 9, 14, 20 damage. And I'll make a second attack. Of a 19 plus 12, so.
So it hit.
Yeah.
You won't.
Another level 2 Divine Smite. And that is 13, 18, 19, 25.
Okay. It's 2 significant hits. You you slash into him. He grits his teeth as you give a divine stab, essentially, and grabs your sword and hefts it back towards you as he is about to move forward, which will bring us, to him. goes, "No, I've not lost my know. I know the way forward indeed. It was revealed to me long ago." He turns towards you, Erlon. That's going to be a 26. So he's going to hit you. You're going to Divine Smite it. So it'll be 45 radiant damage. And 23 slashing. So in total, that is 52.
Yeah, I'm down.
Are you?
I thought I was.
Let's see, you have 12 health left
Okay.
here.
I just counted wrong.
And you feel, don't worry, you feel your dream self begin to slip away. Which will
I'm beginning to realize this probably isn't going to be a fight we can possibly win.
Yes, the dawn's over you. It is your go, though, Erlon. I see you as still standing with 12 health, so that is the way we'll count it.
Cool. So yeah, without relenting, to my last breath, I will try to take you down. And that is 25.
Yes, you've hit like every time, so I'll have to bump up his AC for the end game.
That is 6 damage for the first.
Okay.
Now I'll attack again. No.
No? Alright. Melee?
With sharpshooter. 18. Alright, without sharpshooter. 16.
No.
Alright.
Jar.
So Erlon, he's looking pretty bad, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
His dream form, there's no blood. His visage becomes more blurred, essentially. Like he's losing his place in this particular realm.
I still think, I guess, Jar's not exactly having the greatest luck hitting here, so he'll circle around and he'll cast Cure Wounds on Erlon, level 2. So that's 13 plus. So that's a 15.
Nice.
So that doesn't do much. And Jar's gonna just try to duck behind her on. Now that he's done that. Alright.
You'll bring us with your disengage.
Yes. Yeah.
Gilroy.
I'm going to circle around behind into like the middle of that stone circle.
Yep.
And I will cast a 4th level magic missile.
That's legit.
So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus 6. 18.
18 damage? Guaranteed to hit.
It's my most effective spell as voted on.
Leander.
Right. Guess I'll swing at him. Once again,
Yes.
trying to get past his armor and blocks.
Not the rest of us can see the other thing, right? I'm only a few feet higher than everyone else.
You can kind of see it. I mean, you can see details shifting in the distance, though Gilroy definitely has the best vantage on the imagery of it. A 1?
Yep.
Roll me another d20.
3.
A 3? I think he manages to trip you.
Okay.
So you will, pretty much need to spend a movement to get back up.
Okay.
On our finest moments.
So I can still see the like memory replaying.
Yeah, you can see, in fact, a new one appear. You see the king sitting in a regal, circular throne room. The base of a great tower, no doubt, though part of the ceiling seems to be cracked and collapsed. Before him, a robed figure hovers about a foot off the ground, skeletal feet dangling below. You failed me for the last time, Lexorian. Get out of my sight, and do not return. Wordlessly, the robed figure evaporates, and the king rests his head in his hands. Which will bring us to the king. And I suppose he's mostly focused on speaking with you, Leander. He goes, this is a matter of the heart, you see. Love is on my side. And with that, he's probably going to try and take out Erlon anyway. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, actually, with the multi-attack. Yes. So, Erlon, you return, and you feel a bit of a shock as you awaken. However, looking on your hand, you can see you have a mark, which the serpent, who has his head peering down at all of you, watching over you very closely, and he goes, very well fought. You have proved your marco. And so that will take us to melee.
I don't think I can hit him with sharpshooter very easily. So
Definitely tougher.
yeah. So I'm just gonna do another regular attack. 19.
19 will not hit.
Alright. Same thing. 28.
That will hit. There's few things that would miss.
So 12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay. Which brings us to Jar. Yeah, Jar, I mean, you watch as a great sword appears through Erlon's visage and he just poofs. You feel like you might be next.
Yeah. Jar's going to try to hide behind that column that appears to have fallen behind him.
Okay.
And, right there, and he will take a shot with his crossbow. You want me to roll my hide?
Sure.
That would be a 19.
Okay.
So
Yeah, we'll call it a sneak attack. He's pretty well distracted.
okay. And it's a 7, so it's a 25.
25.
And I will hit for 28 total.
28.
Yep.
Okay. Which will you sink a crossbow bolt into him for sure, which will bring us to Gilroy.
Gilroy is a little distracted by the...
You feel as though that might be the important part of this, honestly. The fight, it's rough. You know the king is a powerful being. However, the information you're getting, pretty useful.
Yeah, I'll just be like, I think I'll call down to the king, like, who are these people?
Who? Which people?
That woman and... What was his name?
Lexorian.
Lexorian.
He was my closest friend. My greatest compatriot. Lexorian Pale. And now he is gone. And that will take us, unless you want to do something, Gilroy.
Say good riddance. And cast magic missile at level 4.
Oh wow!
24, 30 damage.
30? Pretty damn legit. Wow, he's almost up. 2/3. If you guys fucking kill him, that would be insane. Leander.
Kill him. I think Leander furrows his brow at seeing, like, Erlon would definitely be dead.
Your
Like,
battle brother, disappears alongside you, and you are able to surmise Erlon is actually fine.
Yeah. I think he's got a sinking feeling in kind of his heart at what Devarius says, and I think he solemnly just keeps swinging at him. Not one. He doesn't.
You're already on the ground, aren't you?
Oh yeah. Well, I'd stand up then, and then swing.
Hey, no effect, you're fine. It's a miss.
And Marco.
Why are you dissing his Marco?
21?
No.
No. I will drink a healing potion then.
Okay.
So I'll heal for 12.
12. Okay. Which brings us back to King Devarius Caldenon, who, looking upon you as he dodges your attacks or they are deflected, and he goes, "You are valiant indeed, but so misguided. If only you knew. If only you knew the extent of our loss." And with that, he seems to evaporate, and he appears in the air next to you, Gilroy.
What?
Mystic Step, except he's gonna do it up. Any unoccupied space, and with that, he appears next to you, greatsword far above his head, and he is going to bring it down on you.
I don't think he can miss.
He can't. He'll divinely smite you for. Yeah, you're out. He just cuts Gilroy's visage right out of this whole space in one fell swoop and lands in the middle of that circular area as the ground kind of cracks around him and turns back towards you.
Gilroy looks up at the snake and says, "How's my Mako?"
As you see, Erlon is awake. The other three are still in this trance state, and the snake looks at you and goes, "Fine." But you have the mark as well. Which will bring us from the king to Melee.
Melee's very frustrated. She doesn't often miss this much.
No, and many of them are connecting. It's just his armor is incredible. Yeah, they bounce off and go flying.
She's gonna move up to like the next
Sure, yeah.
like piece of rubble to stand on.
And as you jump on top of there, from this higher vantage point, you can see images of a round stone table, the center of which depicts the entirety of Alaire, from the deserts of Kalaira to the far mountains of Sarangar. And sitting around this table, elves, dwarves, humans, dragonborn, and more, a whole variety. And you can, in fact, determine that some of those dwarves must be from Clan Molnar. They have the golden hammer. Some of those elves are somewhat familiar. They look a lot like the ones that Hiron is traveling with. It's leaders of all the various kingdoms and whatnot. However, they silently argue, their faces all furrowed and definitely aggressive towards each other, slamming their fists on the table in anger, and then the scene melts away. That one was particularly quiet, it seems. Now, go ahead.
And Lord Devarius wasn't.
He was, actually.
He
No, he
was?
was among
Okay.
them. He was sitting in a high throne,
Okay.
kind of watching this as it occurs, yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna use my the cold oil
Yes.
on my things as well. So 24.
24 will hit.
There we go.
So 12 plus 5 cold. So
17? Okay.
And then
Again! Do it again!
18.
No. Shoo, shoo. Jar!
Let's see, there's no good hiding places.
You have the feeling that this is his dream,
Right.
therefore his domain, essentially. No.
Jar's just gonna take he's gonna lean out, take a shot from where he's at with his
Sure.
crossbow and miss.
Valiant effort, Leander.
Has he fallen?
Yeah, he's on the ground.
Okay, I'll move up to him.
Okay.
And while I'll talk before I strike, so I don't roll a 1.
Good point. All right. As you move up, preparing to strike.
Right. If I am misguided, then what am I to do?
Die like the rest. As he gets to his feet. You're just one of thousands.
Very helpful.
The fate of Alaire lies in me, and me alone.
I have trouble with that. Can't tell if it's 9 or 6. I think that's 6. Yep, that's 6. 18.
No.
No, so I'll swing again. 16.
No.
No.
Which brings it back to him. And he looks you sternly in the face, and for a moment you do see respect, as well as perhaps a reminder. And then it all washes away, and this stern face comes over him once again, and he goes, "That's a face I'll remember." Nat 1. He will divinely smite you for 130 something damage. And you are...
I'm still up.
Oh, yeah. Managed to pop you out and back into existence. You take 73 damage.
You see my visage disappear and then appear on his knees.
But I'm a half-orc! And then he'll hit you
Really
again.
roasted it.
Yeah, so now, with his multi-attack, he takes you out.
Okay.
And that'll bring us to Melee. Melee and Charlotte.
Haley is very frustrated.
I can imagine.
She doesn't like this not physical realm. She doesn't like not hitting.
Yeah, this guy in particular.
Can she reach down and pick up a rock and just like throw it?
Oh yeah, there's all sorts of rocks
None
right
of
there.
this matters anyway.
That's fair. You want to make a ranged attack on that?
I'm not reflexive, but I badly on your Mako.
So it's no matter what, it's not gonna hit. But I just
Okay, so you throw it around. Clang, yeah.
that'll be one of my attacks, and then I'll just do a regular attack.
Okay. It's gonna hit.
Um,
Throw that cold damage as well.
So it's 10 normal plus, so it's 11.
11.
total.
Okay. It's just a little cold, that one. Jar.
Shar's gonna cast invisibility.
Okay. Alright, I'll put a little I'm out of here sign.
And then he's going to run into the corner.
Okay. Like up here?
Yeah.
Brings it back to him. He, dimension doors. He pops up next to you.
Oh shit!
He goes, very tricky. I'll anticipate that next time we meet. As he plunges his sword down, he's gonna take you out.
Alright.
Yeah, you don't have the health. But, he'll turn back and walk a few feet towards you, Melee. And he goes, "Our last assassin."
I don't like being called an assassin.
Prove your worth. And he points his sword at you. Make your attacks.
Just as I'm going to shoot him, I'm like, I don't see how me shooting you. I don't want to be here. Misses.
Okay.
And then misses.
Okay. Yeah. And charging up, he goes, "Until next time, many faces to remember tonight. I'll be seeing you soon, I'm sure." Yeah, he's gonna take you out with this multi-attack, and that is how that scene ends. You all reawakening rather fast, and indeed you all have the mark on your hands that denotes you have proven your Mako, as the sea serpent looks at you. And part of Mako is using the skills available to you, no matter what they are. If you're good at hiding, it's not against it. It's not dishonorable to hide if that's what you do. It's a complex system. There's actually a really good article on this whole thing. If you like Lizardmen, use this in your campaign. And so, the sea serpent, looking down upon you all, goes, "Yes, well thought, well thought. Your connection is strong. In due time, you will be ready."
I'm curious. How do you have access to?
To him, his dreams.
Yes.
I am a creature of ages so long past, and I sense the ebb and flow of thought. His is a strand I have latched to quite strongly, and many these days think on his behalf, including you. And so he is your greatest adversary, and the one you must prove your valor against, time and time again. Onto my back once more, children. Well fought. More somberly this time, Merlon.
I'm pretty humiliated for being so effectively dispatched.
Suddenly wishing you would have just lost the circus.
No, he's not meant to be beat. You know, like that was. He's the Darth Vader in the cave for young Luke. Is the idea, and he brings you back to the iceberg and permits you on once again. And you guys make your way on out with the same technique that was used last time with the sea serpent, pushing the hole down to maintain air and then bringing you through the sea until it emerges once again, and he rotates the iceberg so that the opening is facing the coast and you can see the sun beaming down on you, the coast in the distance. And these marks are of paint. They'll be able to wash off. They're not permanent or anything, but definitely lizard folk, and denotes that you have proven your Mako. And as he pushes along, he goes, "And that is your king,
May I ask something, Elder?
What is it?"
What is his Mako?
"I cannot tell. Many may consider him to have powerful Mako. Many may consider him to be weak. All I know is when he dreams, he always goes to that same space, tortured by images of his past. And I have watched, but that is the most I can do." His soul feels nearly as old as I am. A strange being indeed. He gives a hearty nudge, allowing the iceberg to drift off on its own. And he's still in the waters behind, but he seems to just be kind of wading back and forth and waiting for the iceberg to land. And it does with a great crash once again as it makes its way up onto the shore, permitting you onto dry land.
Alright. I think Leander will at least be happy to not be underwater or on an iceberg.
No doubt. Though a lot on your mind at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
You guys, anything more you'd like to do there, or?
I think during the trip I was going to tell them about what I saw with the table,
Sure.
just so everyone...
Yeah, Gilroy didn't quite catch that, though he had caught the other ones, so there's a bit to, share. And the imagery of the stone table and all those peoples fighting.
Yeah, you guys were more involved, like, a little busy with the actual fight, I think, to know any of that was going on.
No doubt.
So.
And so, anything more?
Nope, not on this end.
Alright.
Did I use spells?
No,
Okay.
none of that counts.
Yeah.
Anything that you use, bolts or oils or healing potions, spells, all of that isn't real. And you guys continue down the strait, following the path that you had taken once before. And you feel as though you have made a connection with Devarius Caldenin. The way that he remarked that he'll remember your faces, and you wonder what powers are available to him to track you down. And yet you also feel as though, in due time, you could defeat him, or overcome Farrenwell at large, and become strong enough to free Alaire from that iron-handed grasp. And you guys approach towards the caravan. Giantel, the first to meet you. And she goes, "You met with him. That elder they speak of."
Yes. Yes, we did.
What's he like?
Very old.
Very big.
Very not lizard-like.
Hence the, elder. I get it. Well, I know that they're awaiting your arrival once more. And I want to see if you've proved yourself or not.
Like, hold up my hand and be like, look. Yeah, like, I've been
High five! Oh, fist bump! Either way, good job, Manly! And they lead you towards the rope ladders, which you presumably ascend, meeting up again with this relatively green and soil, right? It'd be soil for them to have moved the dirt onto the bridge. Not dirt or earth, this is soil, in which they have grown all these trees which obscure their village. And as you guys enter, you see Axodal, the blue-chested lizard man elder chieftain, walk up towards you and peer over you.
He said I had great Mako.
Did he?
He did.
Very well. It is proven if he says so. And easily enough, they show you. Huh? You're fine! He respectfully leads you, as well as some of his elder guard, towards essentially a metal box in which there seems to be some rusted machinery that operates the bridge. And they move a few vines aside so that you can make your way inside and go, that is the machinery. It should work quite well still. It's essentially just a lever. Who's pulling it?
I'll pull it.
Okay. And though ancient, the bridge lowers slowly and smoothly, hardly disturbing the lizard men who live atop it. Though some of them look about a bit excitedly for a moment at the commotion. None of their structures or anything topple, and you are easily permitted past. It seems as though there's a good route through the trees in which you can depart from the bridge and make your way across the strait. And so, re-meeting with the caravan, they seem to be getting ready to go. Is there anything more you guys would like to do here? Alright. And so, yeah, you continue along, crossing the bridge, which leads you, again, more across the northern coast of the Great Lake. However, in no time you veer north toward a mountainous isthmus, which is the neck that connects the Hammer of Moradin to the rest of Caradmorn. And you follow a wide stone road that is no doubt centuries old. And for another day or two you do so. And Jordan Lowstone on the second day is traveling alongside your cart. And he goes, good to be home.
I've heard a lot about the dwarves.
Have ya? We're a historied people.
Yes. Heard the hospitality is quite renowned.
It is. Mostly for dwarves, but I think he glances about at the rest of the caravan and he goes, I think Clan Molnar will have to make an exception this time.
That's the hope.
Steelhammer Stronghold. It is an achievement. You can see a glimmer in his eyes as he speaks of it. He goes, the ceilings of gold and pillars adorned with emeralds. I cannot wait to see them once more. The halls of my homeland, it is no exaggeration. They will drive you mad with gold lust.
Aren't they selling everything off?
Steelhammer Stronghold. And, he speaks in a lower tone and he goes, Clan Molnar sold that off. There would be no one left at their side. The border strongholds. Points off down towards the kind of southeast. Not nearly as nice, but they were home to thousands of dwarves, so yes.
Don't drink the treacle they call ale. It's terrible.
He, a little red in the face, goes, you sure about that?
Well,
You sure you had real dwarvish ale?
I've tried some. It's nearly killed me.
That's just because of your constitution.
You should offer more mead.
You see any bees around here?
Well, I'm sure if you look hard enough.
Back towards Waterwheel, maybe. And Zorn and Bilberry, who are sitting on the side of the cart, seem to be talking over the food that has been served throughout this caravan trip. They're not fans of the mostly potato-based dishes that you guys have been getting. He goes, Zorn goes, I've never really had much of a varied diet. It's interesting the foods around here. But back in Alaire, it's a lot of sandworms. Bilberry goes, sandworm. Zorn goes, oh yeah! One big old sandworm will keep you alive for a week.
Where's Bilberry from?
Bilberry claims to be from Farrenwell. Some of the nicer parts. Do you ask him?
Yeah.
Okay. He goes, yeah, no. Well, my family has a really nice home, the Bailiers. We were mostly coopers back in the day. Made barrels for people, but, well, we managed to make an arrangement with a wizard. He showed us to a really nice little valley. A beautiful place to live, but came with a price.
What would that be?
Casualties of war.
I was gonna say, you want to know the price? The story doesn't end there. But, yes, well, no, we didn't have to fight over it, and it was well hidden and protected. But he would show up every decade or so, and demand a young halfling from our family join him. They'd never be seen again. Well, my younger brother was the last, so that's part of the reason why I made my way out. Looking for that wizard, yeah, but, well, maybe I can buy him off. If I gave him enough gold, what would he need my halflings for?
Perhaps someday, Bilberry.
Gilroy's disturbed at that story because that was his job, basically. Previous to this was to send people to an arcane school.
Yeah, it does.
To certain people, it might look like, you know,
Yeah, like a collector.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does ring a bell, kind of, though there is a distinct difference in that he's only, these halflings probably aren't magically, don't have an aptitude for magic,
Yes.
and therefore he's using them for some other reason.
Yeah,
the
for
fact
sure.
that they never return.
Right. Yeah,
also-
that definitely sends up red flags. Like Gilroy, that's not really part of Nelferon's
No.
thing. Is not being able to see your
No,
family.
you can
or
return.
Yeah. Some probably choose not to, but
No doubt.
it's a funny thought though. Halflings making barrels.
Yeah, well, they're not the biggest barrels.
Just little tiny
They're
barrels.
kegs! We make kegs, okay?
Enjoy it.
And Zorn, referring kind of to you, Jar, goes, wonder what halfling brew tastes like.
It's gotta be better than dwarven brew. Anything has to be truthful.
Bilberry goes, we make mead!
Excellent.
The valley's full of flowers and stuff. We really do. It's very good. Bailier mead. It's not really a brand you'll find anywhere, but if you do, send it to me. I could really use some. And, Erlon, what are you doing at the moment?
I think I'm just pondering over the events because I don't really understand, but I know I have similar recollections with my own visions of seeing past, possibly future
Sure.
events. So just kind of pondering.
Deep in thought?
Yeah.
Well, as you're making your way on this travel, this wide stone road, which is very smooth travel as compared to even the swamp that you made your way out of as exiting Waterwheel, or the ruins along your way making towards the strait. This is easy peasy going, and in fact, it's very smooth. But as you're pondering, looking out on the landscape, Godric comes walking up alongside you, and he goes, "How fares it, friend?"
If I'm honest, I'm a bit troubled.
Is that so?
Yes, we, I don't know if you've heard what happened to us, but we fought King Devarius in a dream.
The king,
Yes.
the blasted Lord of Lords.
We saw some strange images in the background. I mean, I wasn't fixed on them 100%. I was more trying to take him down.
As you should have.
But, yes, he dispatched me and my friends quite easily. I find that rather troubling.
No
He had
doubt.
some sort of strange holy energy about him.
The gods are fickle. I've never put much faith in them. However, I do know that this king Well, he's a titled man with many stories. Once I heard he single-handedly fought one of the dragons of Alaire, came out on top.
Wow.
Yes. However, glancing about at the party, he goes, well, we don't have those stories quite yet. If we're looking to face someone of that stature, I think it will take time. When was it you became an adventurer, Erlon? Or when do you think?
Well, I think the world opened my eyes when I was by a stream when I was very young and drinking some of the water back home when I was ambushed by a great beast, a dire boar.
Oh. You can see even Godric is taken back a bit, and he goes, "A fearsome foe."
I nearly died myself, and the only thing I remember after being, struck down was figures of light and stars carrying me. And I woke up under one of the mother trees of Sarangar, where all the forests are said to spring from. And I think that truly opened my eyes to not the beyond, but that there are greater machinations in the world.
He silently accepts this for a moment and then places a hand on your shoulder, this great Goliath, a bluish hand that obviously dirtied from days of being at guard and whatnot. And he looks you in the eyes and he goes, "And you could not have faced that boar in your youth, but you could now.
I believe I could now."
The king is much the same." As he walks along. And he embarks over towards the mayor with those parting words. Arena and Clara turn towards you, Leander. They're both sitting on the very back of the cart. You're presumably riding your horse alongside.
Yeah.
And Arena goes, "How is the horse, Leander?"
Loyal as ever.
I can imagine. He doesn't seem to mind the weather.
Not at all.
Clara, however, as the winds begin to grow more cold and you feel as though the altitude is somewhat shifting, this road begins to go up into these mountains. And yes, indeed, the air has a bit of a bitter coldness to it as it whips about. And Clara, keeping her arms close to her chest, seems to be shivering a little bit.
I think Leander will take off the cloak that he had made in River's End.
Sure.
And go ahead and give it to her.
Offer it over to her.
Yeah.
She takes it gladly and she goes, "Thank you, Leander."
Maybe a bit big. I'm not sure how the wings will fare with it, but
I think she wraps it around her. It is, but she goes, "I could use all the insulation I can get." She kind of huddles on down into a corner. Arena, on the other hand, still dressed in her chainmail and whatnot, does not seem to be affected by the weather at all. And she goes, "Now I wonder what we'll have to face coming up this way. We're not quite at Steelhammer Stronghold yet, and even when we get there, I'm certain there will be some danger to be presented with so that we can gain trust with Clan Mulnar."
no doubt. And you know how the dwarves are.
Prideful, yes.
Stubborn, as well.
No doubt.
But I'm confident.
Looking you in the eye, she goes, "I do hope they take kindly to you, Leander. I know we haven't had much trouble with this in Carrot Morin, but you know how they can be."
I think they'll have to. If not, I will be to them, at least.
A wide smile. You've certainly grown up quite a bit, Leander, throughout all this. When we were in Lowton, well, I knew that you had survived the roads and that may have matured you, but even those months passed since then, so much has changed.
I agree with you, and I think I still am. Especially after that vision we had with the elder. It was kind of saddening.
Was it? How so?
Well, he seemed lost, and it seemed like he might have had good reason for being how he is. But mostly he said he still had love on his side. I think that's something I could do better with. With everyone.
She goes, grabbing your shoulder. She goes, I believe we have love on our side as well. One way or another. He may think himself a hero and us the villains, but we know the truth. And so does Clara. And, make your move, Leander!
I don't know.
You backing off?
Leander blushes. And he gives her a hug.
Fair enough. She seems satisfied. And,
Some hug.
in the night, the elves go about their ritual. You see once again, Erlon, although they are ill-equipped for this weather, they seem to still be stalwartly doing what they have to do. And indeed, as you approach going up towards where Jordan claims the Gate of Monar should just be right around this corner. And as you turn the bend, you can see what should be a monstrous stone gate. However, it is currently a pile of rubble completely blocking the path. And Jordan goes, No, this couldn't be! The last time I set out, it was just like it was ages ago! And he kind of runs up, and indeed you can see he casts aside his warhammer. He is horribly distraught at the loss of this ancient architecture. The rest of the Caradmore stand aside solemnly.
Looks like they sold the keystone.
The mayor, moving forward with Godric, goes, Well, what are we to do now? Perhaps, maybe there's another way? And the rest of your group, Thorn, Bilberry, all those folks, begin to move forward and essentially observe, looking towards the mountain ridges that line the pass, looking at the architecture itself, potentially trying to determine what did this.
Yeah. So this is just like the mountain pass that leads to the ancestral home of the dwarves.
Essentially, though, the mayor claims it would be about another 2 days.
Right. Okay.
However, this is the main entrance.
It's like the entrance of the valley that will lead.
Precisely.
Dang.
How high up is
The rubble?
Yeah.
It piles up about 60 feet high. It was you could tell there was a lot of material for this gate.
Can I climb up on top of it?
Yeah, oh yeah.
That's behind it. Would that be like an acrobatics, or can I just?
No,
climb
you
it?
can do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's enough handholds
Just
and rubble itself for you to
Yeah.
be able to make your way up, and you're dexterous enough. And so when you get to the top, standing up straight, indeed you can see the caravan grouped up at this kind of bowl where the rubble meets the ridges. And beyond it, you can see indeed rows and rows of snow-capped mountains. However, a somewhat kind of a valley, artificial valley that the road follows, cuts through those mountains. To the right, however, kind of to the east, you can see a much higher ridge path that could be taken. Though it looks like eventually you'll have to lose the rest of the horses and whatnot, keep them away. Let the party know.
Yeah. Maybe do what we did last time. Send Chantal ahead. Make sure that there's no surprises.
Okay.
That makes sense.
And, Jordan, upon collecting himself, goes, on way up there, the ridges, the Tyronan's path, was not an easy way, so the books say. But we can't take the main road. we may have to travel the mountain ridges, over the valleys, by the old bridges. Eventually, we'll have to leave behind our carts. The elves seem a little distraught at that. Hurston, on the other hand, your dwarvish driver, seems satisfied that he's going to be able to be useful. And he goes, don't you worry about that. I'll make sure the horses, the wagon, everything will be ready for you when you get out of Steelhammer Stronghold.
That's what we hired you for.
Yes.
Keep them safe.
What are we going to find up here? And Godric goes, we're going to find a lot up here. We have to take that path and not the main road. There's no doubt some ambush awaits us.
Can I inspect the rubble? Like, I want to go up to it, see if there's any, like, scratch marks.
Absolutely. Yeah,
just...
Well, let's say, let's make it a nature.
Nature.
Yeah.
Just see what could have done something like this. 19.
19? It's pretty good. It seems as though something that could cause earthquake-like tremors made its way through here. The way that the ground is disturbed and dips in some places, as though tunnels have collapsed far below. It seems as though the structure was destroyed from below. And then kind of toppled on itself, yeah.
I relay that to the group, so since we have no shortage of deadly foes.
Nothing new. Although, not seen something capable of this since, well, the Elder.
Yeah.
A couple days ago.
Or the everlasting one just last week.
We're beginning to see things like this a lot more.
Yes, it's very concerning.
So, go ahead. Okay. And everyone getting readied. You begin to make your way up Ronan's path, which eventually causes you, after about 2 days more of travel through these precarious mountain passes, causes you to bundle up. As the higher you climb, the colder the air, and snow indeed begins to whip about in the wind. And eventually you settle atop a low mountain peak for the evening, amongst some ancient ruins, just before a long, thin stone bridge that connects the two ends of a very deep ravine. I will cut us over to that map, however, I believe that is where we will be taking our halfway break. You guys are down in this corner. Let me see. Got a camp going on. Everyone had been settled up there, and for through the night you were able to pretty much escape the blistering wind and stay underneath these in your tents, underneath these ruins, and escape the elements for a little bit. However, as the sun rises and everyone gets to their feet, well, we'll get to that right after the break. Thanks so much for joining us, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the adventure. TJ, there was some stuff we wanted to do before break time, right?
Yeah, I want to encourage you guys to vote in the poll. If you mouse over our video player here on Twitch, there's some really fun, cool questions I'm looking forward to seeing. Currently, for instance, Jar is the character most likely to be invited to a dinner party by you, the viewer. So that's fun. And yeah, there's a few questions like that. I encourage you to check them out. I don't know. I like seeing the answers.
Absolutely. No, that's a ton of fun.
Yeah, we also are doing a t-shirt giveaway from our comic and game shop, the Freakopolis Geekery, at 250 followers. We do it every 50 followers. We just rolled over 200 and are ready to announce the winner. And that winner is Ravaroth.
Ravaroth!
So we'll send you a message, man, and get you a t-shirt. And, you know, we're closing in on, well, we're not that close to 250, but we'll get there eventually. And
with your help, with your help,
Consider subscribing with Amazon Prime. If you have that, you get 1 free subscription a month if you're enjoying the show, or you could just do a regular subscription that renews every month. And that'll get you some cool emojis and love from the cast and crew of this show and channel.
Indeed.
If you're on YouTube, consider subscribing there. We're putting up at least this video every week, and then every once in a while I get something cool and special.
Yeah, and if you are watching on YouTube, throw it a like or dislike and a comment, whatever you got. It all lets us know that you're enjoying the adventure and makes it all worth putting together. And we'll be back in 5 minutes. We'll see you then, guys. Thanks so much.